Good evening for Enterprise fans. Welcome to our Friday night edition of the Eidolon Express Tournament. The biggest thing going on since the Masters Tournament and the NHL decided to take the night off. I'm Garen in the booth here with Deathlight. We've got FBL, who is streaming tonight and rolled the seed for our racers here. Got Rowdy Roddy Sniper in the booth doing all the button pushing. Or in this case, not so much button pushing as dark matter tracking, because we've got a Zenitsuken circuit race for you going on. So we've got a young start. So to run down the Zenitsuken circuit real quick, it's a dark matter hunt. There's no Z. There are 4 groups of objectives. There's a boss hunt, 3 dark matter each for the 5 bosses there. And we've got Odin, Bulbez, Waterhag, Bomb, and the Aaron Guards, as you can see on the screen. We've got a bunch of objectives worth 5, which today is the Forging of the Sword, turning the Pinktail, being the Baron Castle Basement, every seed, and also turning in the Sand Ruby and finishing Cave Magnus. So those of you who like music, cross your fingers, let's hope. And then on the 7 Dark Matter objectives, we've got Falcon Launch and Mirror Altar as usual. And our 2 randoms today are the Super Cannon and the White Spear Altar, with the 10 Dark Matter objective being the Giant as always. Very likely the Darkness Crystal is required because there's only 78 Dark Matter in the seed, and the Darkness blocks at least 24 of them, possibly more. Items are only at our main locations and any place where there is a non-free character. All the characters have been thrown to the Tower of Wishes in a massive guild recruitment move. So the runners can go to the Tower of Wishes and recruit their party any which way they like. They can swap whenever they like to. There will be 7 other characters besides Yang available. There might be multiple copies of some characters. Only 1 copy of some characters. We don't know. In addition to all that chaos, we've got Be Chaos on. Any boss can show up as many number of times as they like. We have certain bosses will not appear at all. The only we know that is guaranteed is the 5 bosses on our objective group A will be somewhere. Because otherwise they'd be very rude of the seat to do that to us. How are you doing tonight, Deathlight?
Doing well. Just looking over the objectives. Given the current set of objectives, I think obviously with more moon action, with the White Spear Altar being on the table, that the Darkness Crystal will probably control a lot of the dark matter. I mean, it's 24 total of dark matter that is all gated by darkness crystals, and that's half. That's a little less than half, but that's more than enough to kind of combine into something. Well, we're not waiting for anything. We're not waiting for.
Well, there's an
slot.
Odin, and Odin is giving us an Earth Crystal because every seed starts off with Earth Crystal. Treasury settings are max tier 7 and is T Wildish. So access good loot right away. And we have our first objective on the screen. That's Odin worth 3, so we get a Baron key. Cool starting a partner for Yang because Yang is just too cool for that. So we're just going to be off to the Tower of Wishes and trying to pick a party, or we're going to be looting first to see who we want to recruit for our party. Let's see which way the runners go. They are both going off to loot, it looks like.
Yeah, I feel like even with the Yang, there'll still be other party members that we haven't figured out what else. Yes, but I feel like depending on what's there, Yang is probably a likely candidate to not be included. There's just claws are pretty low tier weapons, and with the T Wildish being part of it, getting claws and low tier, and shops are not selling it. Are not selling anything other than free cabin, handing out free cabins. Yang is probably likely to be first case seed, if not the anchor, one or the other. Don't expect. I'm guessing Yang is not going to be a party, the party mage. I love punch mage, but if you don't give him even a standard claw, we haven't seen what the starting weapon is. If it was like a charm claw, that'd probably be a disappointing Yang march, as it were.
Yeah, nothing really that great in the free treasury, just a rune ring and a bandana. Hoping for better here. Let's see, we've got a Leviathan, we have got a defense sword, a headband, Moonveil, defense sword again, life, already arrows, more defense. So, exactly the greatest combination of stuff here. We have
It's
a Kane that's not so bad for Kane, that's not so bad for Cecil. Radio might be okay with that Levia summon there, but no Hanzo Steel for an edge. So this is looking kind of like
but you
you're
can
going
dart
to
all of it. You can still dart all the defense swords. It'll still be useful.
yeah. But when you run out of the darts, then edge is kind of useless at that point.
Well, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The defense sword is probably good enough to make Kane useful. And
Let's see what our
not-
characters are meanwhile in here. Sorry. Let's see. We got Cecil. We've got Rosa, Sid, Rydia, Tella. Not seeing any Canes or Cecils. Oh, sorry. There's a Kane. Never mind.
we'll be eating. Yeah, might be worth eating the Kane. This is another section, and I'm not sure. Didn't bother to check the second room where there would be more characters.
Not sure if we missed anybody necessarily, because there was definitely a Tella there, which was at least a 6th.
I would consider like maybe double Kane if there's an opportunity. Tella would still be the anchor, but I mean, may not necessarily have to rely on Mount Ordeals, but I think both runners are gonna make a trip to Mount Ordeals either way, because Cecil and Tella would be best set to have all their abilities and skills available. So
Yeah, I see a Sid on the one side and not on the other side. I think we know at least 7 of the characters, but there might be an 8th that we've missed somewhere.
I mean, Edge would be a godsend. That would help. That would help a lot. But we don't. But I guess we'd have to play the seed to find out later on. It's one of those. You should at least check the other store. I guess everyone's happy with what they saw.
Watch, there's going to be an Edge that's sitting in that back room somewhere, and we just didn't bother to check. Anyhow, we've got Falgran going over to check the Antlion Cave. That makes a good bit of sense. It's a nice, easy check. Get a couple levels on the party here, get some stuff going. Wrexsoul's going for the key item check here at the Mount Hobbs, and nope, just a piggy and a mom bomb.
Might as well get the experience be reduced because the combined experience at the bomb spot splitting with the other smaller bombs will affect the XP gain, but it's still worth a place to start. I would still done either way, but it's either way. Falcon will probably follow up doing that anyway, so they'll be trading spots soon enough.
Okay, so Rowdy's given us our list of the 8 characters. We did see all 8 apparently. Okay. This mom was a little bit long for the experience gained. I might have wanted to just reset out of this and try getting my experience somewhere else.
Well, I think it's fine. We'll just have to revive Rydia. She does need the XP because we need enough to power Leviathan. And she needs to be at least at level 10 to at least have one cast, so it will require the XP at this spot. So yeah, there it is. There's your one free cast of Leviathan for now.
Meanwhile, Falgran is through the Antlion Cave. Oh, and Mom Bomb is, of course, 3 dark matter, so there is that too. Falgran's found the magma key. The magma is not a hunt today, it is right there. Also kind of rude that the starting kit only gave us 4 exits today, when that can be as many as 10. So a little bit of a premium on those today.
Yeah, well, if you have a Tella, that's not a problem. I mean, that was there. I mean, there was a Rosa, obviously not ideal. There was also a Porum, so that would guarantee an exit. Probably would still get Rosa and hope to do Zot anyways, because we have the Earth Crystal in hand, so you just do Zot, not worry about it.
The back of the Mount Hobbs there was pretty nice for Wrexsoul. Crystal armor was there. I think I saw a Protect Ring and maybe also a Crystal Ring there, if I remember right. Protect Rings, okay.
It's more than that's usually good enough for a seed for end game armor, and also elemental resist, which is always nice to have.
How does a Protect Ring break down?
This is a joke. I don't have the answer.
No, I'm responding to what's in chat over there. I was wondering how a protect ring breaks down.
If equipment changed form or rotted or something, that's in a different game.
Yeah, it reminds me of a game where disenchantment was a thing. Anyways, I'm getting a vampire used on the mom bomb.
A little too late. But it's fine.
And Rydia face plants there a little bit. Unfortunate. We got a turtle and a key item.
Yeah, sure. It's only a little more north of 400 HP for the Kanazo, so that's okay. But I'm more concerned what's behind. I guess hoping one Leviathan summon would be enough. May need to expend some sort of MP healing if things go wrong. It's
a Mylan. Is it the single one? Nope, it's the group.
That's a friend. Has a friend. That's not too. This is much more tenable because Mylan Zed would just punch all the things. Although Lit 1 is really annoying, especially at these levels with all the characters starting with no armor by default. Lit 1 starts to become a threat long term.
Yes, definitely in this case, Lit 1 is not exactly harmless, except maybe for Sid. It's even Sid rounds it out. Waterfall is the king and queen of Eidolon. Now this royal bath is being skipped.
Yeah, well, there's nothing to gain, but don't really need the XP from that spot. Either way, it's not. It's only you're only checking the demist and waterfall spots just for the bosses themselves, not. And if it doesn't match up, well, whatever.
We have nothing from the key item check. Let's see what the character is that's been turned into a key item. It is Baron Key. Well, that's convenient. We're right here.
Probably would want to do mount ordeals instead. Maybe fade Fabul if hoping for the pen to show up late. But nope. Immediately just doing yeah.
We're going to be DKC anchoring today, possibly on Wrexsoul's side.
Look, I have seen DKC. Well, once in a blue moon, if a DKC has a black sword and you have nice favorable bosses, I mean there are. It can't the ones with the generally normal monsters on them. The DKC can be valuable ever so often, even though the conversion amount ordeals obliterates the XP into nothingness. So you could, but sure, why not? Or it's more likely though to just probably just right for now. Might as well. I think it's just the amount of convenience, and we know the Odin is at the Bagan spot, so why not do this?
Yep. So meanwhile, Falgran did find the water hag in the Cave Mist, so that is now 6 dark matter for Falgran, and did pass up the opportunity for the Eidolon Inquirer to get some embarrassing royal photos. We're going to take out the Odin now here, though, in Baron Castle for Wrexsoul and get caught up on the dark matter, 6 apiece.
The Odin shouldn't be too much of a problem. Leviathan will do most of the work, and if worse comes to worse, we can probably just finish him off.
Well, it'd be easier if Tele had access to Lit 3. Does not in this case.
Lit 1 is good enough. With Odin having the extra weak bit, lightning does 4 times damage, and Val in
yeah, the problem is 4 times damage with Tele over there isn't exactly doing all that much.
Well, I mean, there's Rydia that has whatever MP left. Might as well go in that direction. Blitz Whip, not with those attack multipliers. I think if Sid just punched, Odin would probably do more than the Quake. Honestly, the Quake is good for emergency split monster damage. It's just Quake is nice, but not that strong.
Yeah, we get through that, and now we have another 3 Dark Matter for Wrexsoul, tied at 6 now. That was a little bit rude here for sure over at Bull Defense, and I guess Falgran might have wanted the experience here because he already has the Magma Key, so he doesn't need to hunt for it at this point.
I mean, eventually, I think Wrexsoul will go Antlion. I mean, fading Antlion is not optional because of I think with Force Magma Key, so it has to be here. And if
Hey, there's another objective here. So the guards are also here at the Baron Thrones. This is a double objective Baron Castle. We still have 2 more checks to go here because we can get a key item from the spot where the airship used to be, and we can also get a loot chest from a character that we've been playing here. One guard went down.
Yeah, Cecil back row, not really good, but that's fine. Shouldn't be too long.
And there's the other guard down. Yeah, not too bad here. That is now 9 Dark Matter for Wrexsoul.
So with the 2 key item checks, but one with the character, that would have been Sid at the spot.
But there is nothing here.
In the blank. That's unfortunate.
Well, after all the advertising about all the crushes you hear in the antechamber, really blame characters don't want to come in here anymore.
It's always a new statue too that pops up. It's always great.
Let's hope we can get the museum full. And someone stuck a hook in the pot.
Gotta speak the hook into existence like that. It's good. It's a good time. So then also, Falcon is on the Falcon launch is on the table, and also a key item check with the edge spot in the routing there. But I guess it's time to put Cecil online for sure. Because why? I mean, don't want him to be kind of like there doing nothing. Just absorbing experience for no particular reason.
So here's the thing for Wrexsoul, other than the Magma Key, the Pink Tail, the Sand Ruby, or the Twin Harp at this point is go mode for Wrexsoul. In case you want a Jetty Seed. The concept of an anchor, asked in chat here. So anchor is basically Final Fantasy IV's system of determining the order in which characters go. In the vanilla game, Cecil is your anchor all the time, which means that Cecil's agility is basically converted into a number. The anchor is always at relative agility 5, meaning it takes 5 ticks of the ATB system for them to act, and everybody else's agility is normalized around that particular character's agility score. If they have more agility than the anchor, they will go at a relative agility speed of 4 or faster. They will act more frequently than the anchor does. If it is less than the anchor's agility, they will act slower, RA6 or slower. In Re-Enterprise, unless you have vanilla agility on, by default, your anchor is either your hero, if that setting is on, it is not in this flag set, or it is the person in the center in the middle slot. So in this case, Wrexsoul is anchoring with Kane, who is typically a fast anchor. Falgran is anchoring with Yang, who is not quite as fast.
It's one thing. There's one thing to point out that oftentimes when you have you want a slow anchor, you often try to have a cursed ring to reduce the agility of that character, and what does actually noticeably make an impact in the game when you make someone cursed and is the anchor. Things are at least more favorable to you, at least. Relatively speaking.
Most of the time. If you're in one of the early game spots, like if you're trying to get a you have a Golbez at the Kaipo and your anchor is at 1 agility, you're going to be sitting there a very long time waiting for Golbez to act. Wait a minute. I think that's actually a fast anchor. Never mind. Where you wouldn't want to. Where you wouldn't want a slow anchor, anyways.
Just get used to the anchor being slow. Just fast early, slow late. That's all you have to. That's all you really have to remember.
It is the ideal situation. So occasionally, if you just want to go nuts, pedal to the metal, we're going to take the Eddy, we're going to make it an anchor, and just drive the levels up to whatever, and everybody else can just eat dust. Yeah, unfortunately, with these floor rages here with the bombs, the red ones are kind of immune to that particular element, so not getting a whole lot of damage off of it. We don't know Rob said because neither runner checked the second room. But yes, having multiple Ridias I think would be a very big boon here in this seed because we have the Leviathan. That's the main bit of power. We have a package in Mount Ordeals.
It's definitely worth a check just for the character spot, though may or may not be worth it, depending. So because you have to do cutscenes, and there's a lot of cutscenes relating to the package check, so might be not immediate. At least maybe peek at the very moment.
Well, the good news is you'll know immediately if it's something or not because it'll show up as a blue chest if it is something. And better news, the biggest Zonk item of them all, the crystal, has already been received by the party. So pretty much any key item that will possibly drop is something that you can use somewhere. Because, Darkness and Twin Harp, those are objectives along with Sand Ruby. Tower Key is an objective. Luca Key can lead to something else. There's 2 pieces of Forge. There is there's a spoon, which might be actually the most useless thing out there because I don't think we have any eddies around. Or edges to dart them with. Of course, there's the 2 tails. So it's like, the odds are very, very strong. If it's something at the package, you can use it.
So, kind of notice the full party composition. I don't know. I'm not sure what ideally Falgran's anchor should be. It probably ends up being Rydia because she will be the slowest of the entire party. Where Wrexsoul still has a Tella, so that should be his ultimate anchor towards the end of everything. Things, and Wrexsoul will collect the was it Baron Key at the spot?
No, it's Magma Key at this spot.
Oh, the Magma Key, sorry. It's one of the. It's a key. So yeah, Wrexsoul will definitely going to not have know where it is because having the hook in hand is definitely nice to have the access, but obviously not the guaranteed way to going to the underground.
It's interesting that really the runners chose not to have any duplicate characters because it's like you can actually dupe in this flag set. Rob sets over in the chat with the Fury build, which I think actually would be pretty strong for this early game. We would hope that maybe we could find some tiaras or some Sork robes or some Charmed Stardust rods somewhere else in the game to give them some power. Or maybe a Bahamut orb.
You'd be fine. If you need a healer, probably just get hope to get an Azure orb, but that's about the best you can do for healing. But outside of that, just going full offense and not having to think about it for the most part is probably usually good enough. Outside of a few chaotic spots with maybe like a Val or something. And we've seen Val earlier, but obviously with B Chaos, that we can see Val in other unfortunate spots where she can negate Rydia's existence. But with both runners having Kayn, this is mostly solved.
Mostly. But at the same time, it's like, one of those weird sorts of things where I know I've made a comment before. It's like on Zenitsuken, just because the way it's designed, party choice has a lot of determination in terms of whether you actually win the seed or lose the seed. It's like that's a decision you make within the first 5 minutes of the seed. And depending on the party you pick, it's like you make all the right choices and lose just because you have the suboptimal party choice compared to your opponent.
Yeah. So I did also remember Wrexsoul does have a Sid and a Tella. Now the Sid I understand early game might want to swap him out later. Maybe like pick up another Rydia or Cecil if there is one, and that might be something Wrexsoul will do in the seed. Like Tella, will definitely just do his thing, being the anchor. But carrying that Sid might sort of slow down the overall offense. It's not like just in this flag set. It's not that he can't contribute. It's that he's not the ideal contributor.
Well, hear me out though. I mean, there is a Super Forge weapon that comes with 20 dark matter if the runners want to choose to get it. If that is a fiery hammer or something like that, Sid is suddenly God mode in this particular thing. It's kind of interesting that Wrexsoul is only checking Zot now, because it's like this is usually a fairly early check, because it has 3 check potentials with the 2 characters, and then of course finishing the tower itself. But with the low power that we kind of had in this seed, DKC, Rydia, Sid, it's like I understand why it was fade for a bit. And we've got Dr. Dialogue here in the first slot.
Pretty free, so this shouldn't be too bad. But Falgran just found a cursed ring in one of the free chests, so that's nice. I missed the key item chest.
That's a twin harp. So, if Wrexsoul goes down there and finds that twin harp in the Fey March, that will put Wrexsoul in go mode. Now, Falgran I don't think is quite there yet, just because it does not have the Baron key yet that would give the necessary dark matter to complete it, or the darkness crystal. Wait a minute. Wrexsoul needs the darkness crystal anyways, but yeah, darkness and Fey March freebie would do it. I kind of automatically just sort of gave him the darkness crystal. It's like, oh yeah, we haven't found it yet.
Technically, a free spot in the king spot though will be super punchy, because as we know in this flag set, alt gauntlet or just gauntlet in general is not part of the sea, so it's a guaranteed water hag. So probably still not worth it unless you really want the free-ish experience for whoever lives after being punched.
Since there's no key item check off of it, probably not worth the time in general, I don't think. This looks like it's an antlion here because there's no sprite that I saw.
I thought it was a star, but
oh, it was a star. Okay, I did not see it then very well. Okay, perfect.
So it could be any one of them, but it's of the possible 5. Well, we know it's some form of Mylon on the second boss at the Golba spot, so that should be fine. Oh well, Ogo
it's not a very good start to it. So Mylon hypnotized a key item to kidnap. Let's see, a pig or another key item. Another key item.
Yeah, Zod is popular in this flag set. It's hard to not want to.
Oh, there's the darkness crystal.
There it is.
Adamant and darkness. So your darkness crystal was available right from the start as soon as you went up Zod.
Well, it's free-ish. We'll have to see who was at the Val spot that would have slowed down. Like, I mean, you can't just immediately do it. It can be very devastating. But this can be a little devastating. But just wait for Rydia to use Leviathan. That should clear up most of the work here.
Yep, just gotta watch out for reflection. Nope, they hit Tella. That's a good one. Thank you very much, sisters. The French Manila sisters are not otherwise all that threatening, and this Leviathan, since it gets off, that should do it. Yeah, Mindy will hurt, but the thing is, Mindy ain't got a whole lot of HP here, thankfully.
Yeah,
and none of them do.
Yeah. You just have to worry about the middle sister being tackled. Everything. The other sisters will fall in line, especially with anything that is Quake level or above damage.
Yeah, so let's see. Falgran has set up the Sheila 1 check. See if that gets checked immediately or maybe skipped for a little while. Wrexsoul is really hoping for a pink tail here because pink tail would be immediate go mode. Nope, nothing. But hey, you still have darkness crystal out of the deal, which is almost hard required.
That
So
is, yeah. Yeah, that's most of the work. So just knows what to do. I mean, there are plenty of things to do. Do you want to do the hook route first, or do you want to do the moon? I feel like the hook route probably be an ideal situation to do at this point. This just oh no, we're doing the other part of Baron, I guess.
we're checking the basement first to see if this is a free one. Which, there's at least, I think, 3 or 4 good choices here. If it's either of the guard types, if it is a water hag, if it's the king and queen of Eidolon. Those are all free-ish here at this point. What we would not want to see here is something along the lines of, let's say,
A mage of some sort.
yeah, a wyvern or one of the mages or Val. Well, there's a bunch of mages again. That is the third version of Sisters Machine.
Same problem as before, but with a lot more HP to go through. So that may be problematic. As long as Rydia lives, probably will be okay. But other than that, that might be a problem.
Well, Kane.
This is probably has one of the Dragoon pieces of equipment. That might have saved him because that would have probably killed him outright.
Yeah, the key thing here is getting Mindy out of the way as soon as possible.
She's the black mage of the group, so casts all the level 2 elementals and has virus on the tail things. So that is very problematic, especially the virus being more detrimental than anything else. Once Cindy's out of the picture, the middle one, she just casts level 1 spells and not threat. Sandy's only the kind of finishing threat, as first thing she does is cast Charm, and that can be a problem.
I would just charm Tella. Tella's harmless.
He can cast Stop. That is about it. That is the most you can get out of it.
Hey, well, we just took Tella out of the equation. Thank you very much. That's nice.
But it looks like that also means that Sid is not backroad glitched. Backroad glitch has been able for all these flag sets, so that misses because not enough multipliers.
Yeah, unfortunately, Rydia went down there, so we have to start the whole thing over again with Leviathan casting.
The most important thing that happened here is that hoping that Kane is in the air when the reflected spell goes, because it goes in it can target Kane in this instance, although but because it goes into this void that Kane jumping creates. It's a strange thing, but Rydia is being hopefully unlucky, just getting all the spells blasted, and Wrexsoul is realizing this is taking too much time.
I mean, the thing is, they're getting Mindy down is what needs to really happen there. Cindy's got more HP, but it's like, you take an elixir, you get ready to get back up here and there. It's like, once Mindy's down, you don't have to worry about, oh, there's a piggy here, so we're going to reset out of that. Package has nothing.
Would be nice to have picked up a rune axe, if at all possible, which that would have made that fight a lot easier to take. So probably we'll come back to it, just not at the moment. But we'll go through the hook route because why not?
You say it without knowing what's down there.
It's still worth checking. That's that's the hook route is sort of not entirely order of magnitude, but it's easier than the Odin spot. So I would. Well, that's.
Take that with an asterisk. I mean, there could be some pretty nasty things at that spot. Like, for example, there could be a turtle there. There could be a wyvern there with some nasty witch burns. There could be what else? Kind of nasty there. Possibly a Golbaz down there, which is going to take a while. Because this is a Force Magnaseed, there is no restriction on the rudeness that can be at the hook spot.
I mean, worst comes to worst, there are some monster in boxes to get some XP to help out a little bit. Other than that, it should be at least worth at least the gamble, hoping for some loot, maybe hoping for maybe Blarg or something. Oh well, no, Cecil Kane already has something, so just maybe Blarg would be the best outcome of it all, I think.
Blarg, an Avenger, a Light Sword maybe. Yeah, something a little bit nicer to use for attack. We got a Cure 3. I mean, that's healing. Lilith Rod, okay. Hey, there's a Silk Web. Not necessarily useful because there's no Z, but slow down some of these fast fights, like maybe on the Giant if you go there.
It's always Silk Web is always good. Just good if you get the opportunity, especially if like walls involved with like a CPU. If you can get your early turn against a boss, you can Silk Web and make the battle a bit at least nicer for you. And we'll check to see if that's full leg or quarter leg for that ruby.
Meanwhile, the key I'm trying to retain its honor against the leg is well, not sure yet. Kind of nice to see something like a tower key here or a pink tail. That's standard. That's an objective, and that is worth 5
Like
today.
5, yeah.
So
we're doing.
Well, not only that, but that is now officially go mode for Wrexsoul. Doesn't have to worry about that. Twin Harpets down in the Feymark. Of course,
Yeah.
that gets prefaced by saying you do have to actually also get through the Baron Basement and whatever's on this hook route, in addition to what's ever on the Giant and the Mura altars.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
We're just going to hope there's nothing completely rude in those spots.
If you want more free enterprise, hope for more rudeness, because that's how the match is going to extend itself.
I mean, if we really wanted to do a long broadcast, we'd give them the lit 3 seed and not bother with the tournament at all.
Oh, those seeds are a lot more fun. Just if you like some level of pain and torture on route to everything.
Well, it depends on whether you're talking about fun for the viewing audience or fun for people actually running it.
Both. That's the answer. Both. All right. So.
Well, everybody has their preferences in this regard. I prefer to have more fun by not struggling for an hour to clear a check, but each their own.
I'm here for it. Falgran will find out, pick up the hook, so we'll probably follow in Wrexsoul's steps in some way, shape, or form. So that's not too bad. Wrexsoul probably trying to prevent anything horrific, especially at the King Queen episode, where it can be nasty with the super.
Well, that's nasty. It's fast, and it's not got a whole lot of HP, but yeah, that'll punch.
But we have a cane that might solve a few problems, but it may be a bit slower than ideal, for sure.
Slower than ideal is a fun way to call that. Meanwhile, looks like Falgran is going to finally do the Tower of Zot and realize that the go mode has been sitting here pretty much all along. It might feel in a bit of a panic.
Oh, Falcon doing Zot late is that. I mean, oh, wait, nope. I'm trying to do the hook now, which is fine, because knowing that is a guaranteed objective, so that might as well do that. Yeah, Val spinning in this spot absorbs all the things, so that's why that is time the cane jump to the Leviathan summon. It's otherwise it just kind of disappears into an ether in most spots.
Well, there is second Val down, so now we get to see if it is quarter leg or full leg.
Probably be best be elements, because Tella would actually be doing something, though would be getting experience. It's vanilla.
Well, it is vanilla full leg. So I don't know if we've seen any ice brands on the party at this point.
You got defense swords. It's probably the best you can get. Ice brand being really low tier, not exactly favorable to pick up, but not. I mean, low, not entirely low, but not ideal. It's not like in the top tier of weapons. So that's probably why it's harder to get. Ironically.
Yes, well, the whole thing is Ice Brand would be very nice with this Cane here to jump into the Ruby without getting counterattacked. With physical weapon use, like this Sid here is going to hit with the hammer and is going to draw, some damage back on the other side, which, without the healing that we would be having with the White Mage, you don't want to take a whole lot of fire damage here.
Probably could just use the Earth Hammer, which will not trigger, but really needs Cecil to be in super cover mode the whole entire time with Kane jumping. So it's gonna be slow. The most of the damage will come from Leviathan, although it's not probably Radius not got enough gear compared to. I think Falcon's done a lot more looting, so I think the Radius at this spot is not contribute as much as if there was a tiara and maybe a rune ring or whatever, and maybe a black shirt ideally, but or even a sorcerer robe. It's kind of like it's one of those times where Rydia has a strong spell, but she doesn't have the wisdom to make it better than like Quake Kid if Quake Kid was in the seed.
If the tiara hasn't found this damage, not looking at the tiara is actually equipped. So these levels on Rydia, that should be doing a little bit more if there's a tiara on.
It would be worse if a Herald was on, though. I know there's a Stardust staff, so that's not the problem. It's still not. It's like Rydia's wisdom is, I would say, a bluff, just one bluff below Palom at the same level. So that's what's making this damage not so exciting.
I would say get Tella up. Tella has at least access to Ice 3, which, well, it's not going to be necessarily the greatest amount of damage. It's like it is still going to be 4x multiplier, and it is going to do a fair bit of damage. And Rubicon, just make sure it actually lands and the cloak is open and not closed.
Requires some good timing there. Silk Web, having been applied, probably would increase that window, so that should be something to be at least considered. Yeah, sure, Tella's gonna get some levels, but you want this fight to end a bit faster than it is. So there it is. Should be something close to it. That's not quite not because it's not extra weak, but that's good enough.
6,000 is pretty good. I mean, that's basically almost 2.5 of Rydia's Leviathans there.
Yeah, Sid has to essentially do healing duty. Cecil has to do cover duty. That's fine. But Cecil also helps that being in the back row is how cover is more effective, as regardless of what the row of the character he's covering is.
No, that Ice 3 is early. That's going to heal it from 1500. Yeah. And Cecil taking a parry means that nobody's being covered now.
Yeah, you gotta use the item. You gotta use like even the item, the weapon or the shield or whatever to just do nothing, and that's good enough. That might as well be a parry, but not.
Yeah, and this Ice 3 is going to be late now, unfortunately, so kind of undoing a lot of the good stuff that was done in the first cast. And now I think Tella is also out of MP to actually do anything else.
Yeah,
there's a Grimoire in the pack there. I might use it here.
You might as well gamble. That's very unfortunate. Another heal.
Yep. The thing is, we've also got, I think, Lilith Rod here. I mean, Lilith Rods allow Succubus effect. I mean, go ahead and stick that on Rydia and then try to steal Cecil's MP. Like on Tella, do the same kind of thing.
Yeah, to Rydia. You consume someone needs the MP desperately. We just have to steal it from someone else. This is surprisingly a very slow crowd, given what we've got at the moment.
The main problem is we simply do not have. This is Bacchus, which didn't work because I think Cecil's got crystal armor on.
Yes, crystal armor blocks Zerk, so that might be just an error for getting what was there.
Yeah, unfortunately, with this Fire 2 going on here, it's like we can't really keep attacking physically. Otherwise, the party's going to drop. Yeah, there we go. Grimoire cast.
Yes, the surprise. Yes, it's a desired spell. Great.
Well, there's being saved by the Blarg.
Hey, you gotta gamble every so often. So this is like might as well. You know, it's not like this is getting any better. We have all the characters that we want levels. I think at this point, Wrexsoul really should strongly consider swapping out the Sid for someone else. At this point, that's like a Rosa. Try to take advantage of the slingshot for having 5 characters and being behind in levels. So that might be a thing that we will see very soon. Hopefully. Let me see another Mylon there.
Yep. So it's we apparently have a very limited casting budget today. Only because we bring about maybe 10 of the bosses into the seed. Or it looks like. Anyways.
Look, they get they're taking paid vacations. That's how we roll here.
I ain't paying the bosses to not show up. That's ridiculous.
That is a wacky flex thing, but which would be amusing. Falgran, interesting. Trying to set up for the. We know he's guessing on the. We know he knows it's just a ruby, so not sure. We'll find out. Obviously, it is full. It is full legs, so we'll be nicely interrupted. Yang having at least benefit of being able to punch with his charged up punch without having to trigger the fire 2 counterattack, so that would be good, but we'll find out soon enough.
Yes, I think I saw an Ice Claw in there, which means that Yang will be doing some nice damage to this thing.
Wrexsoul found the Rune Axe would have needed much earlier for the Mag Sisters, so would be definitely be more. Should be at least having one would be more than enough to take on the Magus Sisters in Odin's basement. Probably may need some better gear, or just let Kane do the work. Because
yep.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, now we do have the Curse Ring. That Rune Axe will be great for taking on the sisters that are probably going to be in the Giant at first spot, which will just be a royal pain for everyone to go through.
Not gonna leave without doing Sheila 1. So try to do the Sheila 1 access. Was it worth it? Did we find out what was that Sheila 1?
I don't recall if Falgran actually set it up and checked it.
I know Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, nothing. Okay. That's good.
Okay. I'm not sure if Wrexsoul realizes is already in go mode, because technically speaking, does not need to take the Sabul check. And really, unless it's exactly a pink tail or a tower key, it's not really going to speed things up any to get any more items out of things.
Well, I mean...
Aha! Looks like there's been a realization on that one, maybe.
It could be. I mean, it's possible you maybe stumble onto getting other objectives, so you don't have to do like the Giant of Babel. That is an ideal scenario, because that already eats into a lot of time. So if you can do something else that gets you to skipping the Giant check, ultimately, that probably something that could be worth doing. Ultimately.
Yes, now it is possible this Sand Ruby could be a tower key, in which case you might want to swap out some other check for that. It is just a piggy, but that does not matter, because we are going to get our 5 dark matter off of this, which also means that now means that the Super Forge item is on the table.
Probably be worth doing the Super Smith item, given that Sid is on the table. I like Gigantic Axe, or the Gigant Axe as listed, but
you know, we're gonna get either a Flan Sword or we're gonna get Cali Pork.
How about Piggy Stick? I'm hoping for his Piggy Stick for Kane, or Cecil, probably for Kane.
Yeah, Wrexsoul, there's not much need to sell stuff off here, just because you can't really buy anything here.
Yeah, you might as well use the trash can. You might as well use the trash can in the inventory. Like, just you don't. Everything is worthless.
At least buy some cabins, you know.
I don't know. Sleep is not for everyone. Maybe just doing the seed without using the cabin. Why not do that?
Okay, Wrexsoul is going to do the Twin Heart check. Probably better to do this before you did the Sand Ruby, because that Sand Ruby just healed everybody up to full, which will make getting them down again a little bit harder. You are ideally positioned for that after you come out of the underground with doing that Fey March, because you're
Yeah.
at low HP. So, bit of an unfortunate order here.
It's probably okay. It's one of those. I'm sure. When Rexel looks back then and say, "Oh yeah, I damaged myself by walking through all the damage tiles." It's just it happens. People forget they've done. They want to do things, but they forget the order which they should do it rather than the things that. It's fine.
Yes. Meanwhile, candidate Rubicant was basically resigning the floor today and just letting us have our speech going on here in the booth. As far as where the darkness was, it's at the Tower of Zot, which is a check that Falgran has not gone back to yet after both Wrexsoul and Falgran didn't do it initially because they have a weak sauce party to start with here. I mean, Yang takes some effort, DKC takes some efforts, Rydia takes some effort, Sigis isn't ever good at all without the super smith weapon. So, yeah, and this virus is not going to get people down, and could possibly hurt because we might get the HP right now, which is just going to delay us a little bit further.
So Sid probably will survive this. Unfortunately, probably doesn't have a kamikaze available, so has to go through the entire sequence. So Sid was the problem, not Cecil with taking off the crystal armor, as that probably wouldn't have made a difference in this entire sequence at all.
Yeah, and we did have 1 HP run out, to just add another ticker to the thing. We're going to get some music now from DJ Spoony B. It's a randomizer, so I like to randomize things, one of which is Eddie's song. So one of the hundreds of tracks will be playing now for your enjoyment. Bit of a randomizer fail there. I mean, that just literally had the same music this week. So hope you enjoyed that. Those of you who like Zelda music. 3 more Dark Matter for Wrexsoul for the Water Hag. 5 more for completing Cave Magnus. That is up to 29. And a good fat old nothing being guarded by the Water Hag. Womp womp.
Falcon better hope that murders Ogo, because that
That is not
unfortunate
going.
wipe.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright, Wrexsoul, meanwhile, has some choices. Needs only 21 Dark Matter, and can get that without doing that Barren Basement at all. Or can choose to do the Barren Basement and skip, perhaps, the White Spear
Giant?
Altar.
Oh.
No, can't skip the Giant quite yet.
Still probably worth doing the high Dark Matter, so it should be.
Here.
Turn in. Didn't save. This is the
Yeah, Falgran unfortunately did not save after doing the power. So I mean, this is It's Perseus arrows, which doesn't help Wrexsoul one bit because it does not take a Rosa.
Maybe it's a good time to take that Rosa over Sid. That would be my wishful thinking, because that Sid is not actually contributing that much more these days.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we have no really good bow that we've seen, I think, for the Rosa. I don't think we have a heroine robe anywhere. It's like, it's not going to be doing all that much damage anyways.
We just need aim. The answer to all things is aim. Even if it's the short bow, the worst bow in the game, your aim will solve most things.
I mean, it's a little hit, but the damage isn't going to be anything to write home about.
Most of the damage actually comes from the arrows, surprisingly. The bonuses from the bows typically help a lot, like especially with the Artemis bow. But most of your damage actually comes from your arrows. Bows, even though the one thing about bows is worth always noting is that the status stat is a lie, because it only because of the algorithm. Only half of the attack power is used from the bow. Just the base bow attack power is always half. So if it says 10 for the short bow, it really means 5 and on top of other bonuses. So your work most of the work from a bow and arrow setup is infinitely arrow, and Perseus has probably, I think, maybe about 100 attack power. I don't remember the exact number. I just know that's what's going to carry the damage.
Yes, but you still need multipliers. I mean, you need some way to get the attack multiplier up. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you have 255 attack power from the arrow, but it's like there's only 2 multipliers on the strength side. It still ain't going to be very good.
Rosa naturally gets more strength than any other any of mage, so that's usually not the problem. But yeah, I'm not disagreeing. It's more of you could probably muddle with a short bow. Although I think the bare minimum for sanity is crossbow, but that's just me. That's that's for a non-Rosa character, and that's a story for another day.
I would still want stuff that would actually cause some damage multipliers, like, heroin, bandanas, crystal ring, or something like that. Get your multipliers up. We have a key item though here guarding the lunar dais. What is the protector today?
Better be an Artemis bow. Summon into existence.
We put the Forge Legend Sword as the Guardian of the Moon. I think that makes a certain bit of sense. That definitely means now that Falgran does not need to definitely skip something. It's going right back to the Earth.
So probably not doing the moon altars. I think that's what it suggests.
Well, I mean, I know we can do Giant, we can do Barren Basement, and that is 15, and the Forge is
5. That's one off, I think.
Yeah, I think we're 1 short, literally.
Well, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Wrexsoul will remember this. I mean, he might be remembering his dark matter count wrong, possibly, or it's just like one off is which can happen. Maybe needs to find another boss to get the last 3.
Well,
I'm not sure what's left.
The problem with that strategy is the only boss that has not been seen by Wrexsoul is Golbez. He's seen the other 4.
Gotta gamble. That's all I'm gonna say. Gotta gamble.
Well, Moonveil would be great if he had some way of zerking the character to do the damage, or you had you could use it and just cast endless Bahamut orbs.
Well, you can use Bacchus one after using Moonveil. That would be the first season.
You would have to have some. I think that Wrexsoul
he consumes the first one. Yeah,
consumed the one that he had, and there's no way to go buy more, and hoping for a drop is not helpful, and we can't steal them because we have no edge.
Maybe I guess we'll doing the moon bosses. I guess is probably the safest bet, and then do at least one of the moon bosses, Mura. And then do Giant.
It would make sense to do Mura and then go to Giant, or this is the other option. We could do Mura and White, And then we could do the Baron basement. Giant does not have to be taken in this setup.
That does okay. So that's you're still fighting 3 bosses, just in a very particular way of doing it. So
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
because you have but I think they're all manageable. I think maybe your non-giant option sounds better a little bit.
The thing is, the giant one is 65,000 HP, and if it's a split boss of some sort, it's having even more than 65,000. So I mean, there's a lot of chew through with this party because the party ain't really very strong. Well, you do have an hourglass for this. This makes a bit of sense.
It's probably the top. It's probably the top. Forgotten.
Or did we use it?
Oh well, that's unfortunate. Well, then gamble with stone. Gamble with stone. Leviathan won't cut it because the carries have near maximum magic defense, like a behemoth. So that won't murder him outright. That's kind of the problem. You actually want Tella to stone and murder them, because I think stone will survive, but there might be some casualties in the XP. Oh wait, the hourglass is usually a small random, like 1 to 3 or something. I don't remember the starting set. I just know it.
Yeah,
hourglass typically is there.
It was not in the starting set for this flag set. It was found moving along the way. This was Mega Flare. You could get 3 of them to start with. And you would probably find at least 2 or 3 more along the way because that's just the way that flag set happens to work. We did end up taking a little bit of problems here, but
Sylph won't do anything here. Because Carrie has max magic defense.
We're through. And that gets a nice bunch of levels on some very weak characters here. So, you know. Oh, we get an Avenger Sword for the trouble. That'll really help Kane out quite a bit.
Probably looking to exit the heal first, which is fine. Probably we'll have to use maybe use the whale or the free cabins.
Yep, we'll use the free cabins. I wouldn't recommend staying there on your vacation because they're free and you get what you pay for, but for our adventuring skills, it's good enough. Falgran's going to turn in the Sand Ruby. Get the Dark Matter for that.
So I guess at the Wrexsoul is definitely ahead, but we don't know by how much time is left. But it's just the result of likely three bosses in total, one way or the other, whether it's through the giant or through Odin and the White Spear altar, because we're guaranteed to do the Mura altar as the given thing.
Yep, and unfortunately, unless Falcon remembers Tower of Zata and does it at some point, not really much is going to matter because that is the one thing that's kind of driving not being able to finish the seed yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many options left for Falcon.
I was gonna get the
off the top of what is left.
This is a little bit annoying. So use a Moon Veil. That would be the first step. And then put the Rune Axe on, and then put the Avenger on, and this will be one. Very easy.
I mean, this is a free opportunity for Stone for Tella at this spot, but that's
that messes up your anchoring though if you're counting on that for something else.
There's not many bosses left. You just have to worry about the other two bosses. I don't think the angry mess up too much. It's not like Tella is gaining breakneck agility. Yeah, sure, it'll mess it up, but it's not like we already know what's at the Odin spot. So what's left is whatever's at the White Spear spot, which can't be that devastating for agility anchoring at this point. That might be a reset. That's an unfortunate reset for
Yeah,
Wrexsoul.
this is gonna be a reset. You can set up now for this properly. I mean, all you have to do is put the rune axe on Kane.
No, they can for some. Oh, doing bow and arrow. He does not have a bow. There's no bow.
Yeah, there's no bow in the party, unfortunately.
I would definitely absolve the rune axe from Sid. He's not going to be contributing much. You want the Kane to have it at least. It's probably the ideal character, actually.
Kane would be ideal. You can use Cecil. The problem is if you use Cecil, Cecil's the only one surviving, I think, in this case. Yeah, Rydia can toad them if Toad gets off. They can be stopped.
Yeah, there's plenty of solutions.
It could be Hourglass. We still have that.
I think Toad is the safest solution. Just if you can get it off, which is like it's more than 50-50 chance. Base spell accuracy of Toad is 50%, and without a bonus wisdom, so it's bonus wisdom, whatever the wisdom stat, divided by 2 to get the whatever bonus accuracy through wisdom. So it should. Rydia is very capable of casting Toad. Well,
the biggest obstacle to her casting Toad, she has to live long enough to actually get it off.
That's what Cecil's for. Just do the coverage.
Well, yeah, not doing that. This is going straight into this, and not even using the Moon Veil to kind of protect Cecil in the first place. So we have to kind of be hopeful that this is going to turn out well.
It shouldn't be too bad, as long as Cecil doesn't get sized, which would have happened, would be protected by if Cecil had the crystal armor equipped. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that actually the crystal armor protects with Toad and Size, so that would actually make him immune, and he could just solo the fight practically. Not literally, but practically. And Dr. Dialogue, just do his best to slow things down.
We are through the guards. So that is another 7 for Wrexsoul. That's 41 now. So again, it has a choice of either Giant to finish this off immediately. That's Dragon Whip. Or can go to the White Spear Altar and then go back to the Barren Basement. I don't think there's a lot of time difference between those necessarily, depending on what's there, but I would probably go for the Altar in the basement and just make it even easier, because you know that basement what it is already, and Runax is going to be just murdering those sisters when the time comes.
Yeah, it's pretty much reasonably calculated if you know which you've had up to this point. Yeah, that is certainly the better choice. We don't want to gamble with the over 100,000 HP spot as the element spot. So I would, yeah, even if there was this freest of bosses outside of Water Hag, like in King Queen Evelyn, yeah, that you still have to chew through that HP or the time just wasting away.
Well, now with King Queen Evelyn, this is not Beano free. We can just simply wait for them to do their thing.
That still takes time. They still have to go through the motions.
Falgran's gonna get the bad news. It's like, yep, you should have come here a while ago.
I mean, this is where all the free key items hang at.
Usually there's at least one in the Tower of Zot. Occasionally there's 2, sometimes there's even 3. I don't think I've ever gotten 0 from this check.
Yeah, it's a kind of must-do check just based on key item density.
So meanwhile, I believe that puts Falgran in go mode now at this point as well. So we'll see if Falgran goes right to the Giant, or at least the Moon. See what happens here.
So that's where all our camping gears go to. Just healing sized characters. Is that where we're down to now?
Well, let's see. White Spear Altar is another ruby.
I don't think it's a high spell. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
We'll
think
find out.
this is not going to be bad here for that, I don't think. Yeah, this is going to be pretty low damage. It's going to be a few lost frames on the fact that Fire 2 is going to be out quite a bit. And unfortunately, okay, we're going to get a reset here, because that Cecil, that's going to take probably at least a good 15, 20 turns to get through. Oh, we're leaving.
No, I guess we're going giant. Too much. It's too much work for too little effort to gain. I guess because I think it's still worth doing. It's just slow because of the options. This is.
I mean, you could have done Ice 3s on Tella and, you know, Rydia using Leviathan. That would have worked. But we're going to a giant. And I guess Wrexsoul is going to hope this is not even worse. Because we could have Rubicon here again at Giant 1.
Well, the fire won't be as strong, I think.
No, actually, it's gonna be about the same here.
It's like it's.
Yeah. What White
I mean,
Sprawl?
Yeah. Well, the White Spear Altar has, I think, the least amount of HP of all the bosses because it's the plague spot, so it's the kind of the least of all the LST spots to chew through HP.
You know, the real tragedy here is going to be something like, so what could be the worst spell here? CPU at Giant 1 would be kind of nasty.
That's usually the slowest that I can think of because no one wants to chew through CPU at elements. Just it's all sorts of bad. But I think there's a Sylph that'll just be slow and painful for the most part.
We have seen Ogopogos. We can see some more. That's true. Bivern. We're not gonna get something as lucky as Bivern. Come on.
I mean, you can only wish it to existence. So I mean, it's possible. Haven't seen it at all this run. So we'll find out sooner or later.
So we haven't seen it as we were going to see it.
Yeah, no, he's not the anchor. I mean, you could make Sid the anchor, ironically, with the dwarf axe.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sid has been a lot of dead weight here. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Who is the boss? Oh, it's the free one.
I kind of spoke this for a moment. Well, not literally, but King Queen Evelyn. I mean, we see a wait, or we're gonna. That's it. PowerPoint time for Wrexsoul.
Yeah, the hilarious part of this is, depending who Giant 2 is, could have come here at any point in the last hour and gotten like over 100,000 free experience at the spot.
Yeah, Giant is known to if you do Giant aggressively just for the XP alone. I think it's depending on whether you have double XP or not. It's like under like 100,000, I think. There's lots of 200 something. With like I'm trying to remember the numbers, but it's like with depending on the bosses, you can easily collect a lot of XP just doing Giant outright. Now whether the bosses are friendly is a totally whole different story, but having King Queen Evelyn at least at this spot is like ideal. Like it's like halfway there.
Yeah, and you can always leave possibly even after the first boss. You'll still have a lot of power from this, especially early.
Falgran's not having a good time. We know this spot, the Odin spot has a lot of spell power, so which makes all the damage pretty dreadful. So this might induce a reset depending on how things go.
Yeah, this has been sort of like that basement has been one of the rudest spots that we've had.
I mean, it's very doable when you have the tools, but just like you probably have like at least like protect rings, which I think we've seen some, and dragoon armor, which we've also seen, that would mitigate some of this, but not quite the levels ideally to take on the spot at this point, though.
Okay, now we're going to see if Giant 2 is as free as Giant 1. Yeah, Falgran made this be a lot easier, and it's probably in the watery pass, because that's just the way things go. Well,
that's pretty free.
The only thing you have to worry about, potentially, is sweeping the little bombs when they are here. That shouldn't get
No,
through all
no,
extra 9,000, but
No, you just gotta do. You gotta chew through the HP first. Hope you make it there. Although with Rydia down, that's gonna reduce the probability of that. But it's very doable if aggressive enough. Like if Tella casts a Zerk on Kane or something, that would also help.
well, Tella has to stay up for that to happen. And Rydia's down again.
Yeah, this is the thing about Avenger Cecil is that you can't. That's why Kane, like, much as he has the garbage tier of ultimate weapons most of the time, but he would have done the same thing Cecil's doing and probably a bit better at it. Just and letting Cecil do his cover thing. So that is slowing things down, but not
just got through it. Okay. That is going to be GG for Wrexsoul as soon as those dark matters are turned in. Falgran is going to raise the whale. Is in go mode. Just needs to finish the giant and the altars, I think, is enough. Yes.
I'm sure this is going to be an X-Cal just to poke fun at this seed.
Or Crystal Sword. Let's just do Crystal Sword. Why not?
I'm rooting for X-Cal.
Dragoon Spear.
Seed has jokes.
I don't think we saw anything that was really weak to Dragoon Spear in the whole seed anyways.
That is also ironic. You know how rare that is, especially with the number of dragons that are in the pool of bosses. Like, be chaos, man. That's doing a lot of the work.
That it is. Your GG's out for Wrexsoul, who is finished with a time of 1:14:08. And we'll see if we want to get if Wrexsoul wants to join us for an interview in the booth.
GG's to Wrexsoul. With a lot of comedy with all of that, and that's still pretty good. I mean, there's like effectively fading Odin ultimately, which is the Odin spot, which is fine. But that was a lot of seed moving things to a different direction because of the bosses.
Yeah, it looks like we're joined by a Wrexsoul in the booth. GG's.
Thanks.
So, yeah, we got you. What did you think of the way this seed played out?
Well, I tried messing it up.
Well, it gave you some spicy things there. I mean, the hook route was not exactly the friendliest of things. The basement was not the friendliest of things. Turns out the three places were on the giant all along.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I wasn't quite sure I was going to do the giant. I know I had 10 points left, so I thought I would check to see it was a light spear. If it was an easy fight, potentially... well, if it was gold beds, that was 10. If it wasn't, then it was an easy fight, then I'd just go back and fight the sisters against the rune axe. So I had a plan there, but it was Ruben, like, it's going to take me forever to take him down, so I'll just go to the giant and see what happens there.
Yeah, we think that by our count, you need 11 at that point, not 10.
Let's see, I need 21 after the turn in. I got 5 from... Got 5 and 7 is 9. No, I only need 9 more.
Okay,
so 29 on the turn in. I did the Cave Magnus, which got me up to 34. Burn Altar is 41.
Oh, he was at 41 heading into the giant.
Right. What I'm saying is, if the White Spear Altar would have been 7 more. So if that was gold as I was done. If not, I could go back and then the basement throne for 5 more and got it done there.
Okay, all right, gotcha. That was
my thought process on checking White Spear.
Yeah, got a little bit messed up there on the count. That's okay. This happens a lot on this particular flag.
Yeah, this is a mess.
Yeah. So, question about party choice. Why Sid?
I had the Earth Hammer, and I didn't have. I mean, obviously, Cecil would take a minute to get online. I had Leviathan. I'm like, okay, Earth Hammer. I got some sweep along with Leviathan. Um, honestly, I just didn't think of another person to put there. Honestly, I knew Tello was going to be my anchor from the get-go. So,
Yeah, I mean, we
That's
thought
why.
maybe a second Iridia might have been a thought, but
yeah, and I keep forgetting that you can double up the summons on Rydia, and that would have been a better move. So, yeah, taking 2 Rydias instead and having both with Leviathan would have been awesome, but I completely forgot you could do that.
and neither you nor Falcon actually checked the back room to see who was actually in there as far as characters went. So,
Oh, yeah. No, I checked it. It was a pig.
Huh?
I went in
In-
very...
in the
second-
tower,
yeah,
in the Tower of
second-
Wishes.
Oh, Tower of Wishes. Oh.
Yeah,
Did
there's
I go
that.
in the
There is
There is
that
a
back
second
room there.
door. Yeah.
Did I not go in the second door? I thought I did.
I don't think either of
I don't think either of you did.
Yeah.
Not that it really ended up mattering
Yeah.
in the end, but because we
Yeah.
saw all 8 characters anyways in the first room.
Okay.
But sometimes it makes a difference in terms of how many dupes can you get of a certain character, or is there any
Yeah.
dupe at all? Anyways, let's see. Anything else that I had in mind to ask you about on this one? Not really. For Dark Deathlight, any questions for Wrexsoul?
So I kind of understood this, sort of understood the Sid play, but wouldn't it make some sense to like swap it in for Slingshot, like for Rosa, especially because you know you were doing Towers off, so it's not that you didn't have Tella, but you'd have another exit caster. Like just swapping out the Sid probably would have increased your productivity, although maybe you definitely did not get a bow at all, given
Yeah.
the Supersmith.
Yeah, bows were not kind in this seed. I honestly thought about dropping Sid for another Pain. Was another thought. One thing to put like 5 defense swords. I'm like, well, you know, that could be a thing.
That was the treasury. He got 3 of them in the treasury alone.
Yeah, so I thought about dropping him for another Cane, but at that point in time, I had an idea in mind, and I already know I run. I'd seen my pants as it is, so trying to double back to do something, I try not to. I try to commit and go. The second I start second guessing myself, I start second guessing a lot of things, and end up costing time. So watching this back, I definitely will probably have better off chosen a different party. I thought I had Hourglass when I went in for the Warlock Carry fight. I realized I picked it up on the way to Baron Basement, and where I reset out, I didn't have it anymore. That was interesting.
It kind of worked out well though with the Avenger that was hiding in there.
Yeah, it did. I was going in prepared, but then I ended up not prepared, so that was not fun. That didn't work.
So I think you were having a little trouble on giving who with the best weapon. Like you had, so a lot of the weapons you did have access to was Cecil and Kane, and to some lesser extent Sid compatible. But you were giving, I think you at a time gave Sid the Rune Axe, where maybe like Kane would have benefited more from having that. Like, and at times you made Cecil the Avenger the Zerker through the Avenger with whatever weapon, probably the defense sword. Like that sequence, like I would have like that. I thought that Kane should be like the go-to guy, and let Cecil just do the cover thing, because that's just in case, because you had the crystal armor, which at one point prevented the Bacchus one from working.
Right. And I realized as soon as I used it, it wasn't going to work. Because I just cast Blink on in the previous turn and it didn't work. So I don't know why I didn't think Bacchus was going to work. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Oh no, Blink will fail. Blink has a chance to fail.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where when you have the stats, it's great. When you're Tella, occasionally it just doesn't happen.
And meanwhile,
Yeah,
it looks like Falgran has also chosen to forfeit the rest of the race. GG's to Falgran. Continue, please.
Oh, so there was the quirkiness from having that set up. Like, I was just hoping you would get rid of the Sid, like, swap out the Sid. Just
I definitely should have in hindsight, but I was hoping that I would. I mean, Sid was pretty much my only bow character at that point in time. That's one of the reasons why I got him. The Earth Hammer and the bow character. But I mean, he could have easily swapped him out for anybody else, would probably been better than Sid at that point in time. But as I said, I tend to pick the party that I think best suits what I got in the treasury and go with it.
It almost felt like there was no bow in that seat at the same time.
It wasn't. I had the one archer bow, and then I ended up tossing it on accident, and well, on accident, I thought, oh, it's an archer bow. I don't need it. Didn't think that was the only bow I had. But yeah, no other bows.
At least not. I mean, the starting characters in the tower, which some of them may have had other bows. We don't know, but I do have one other question for you, though.
Yeah.
What would you do for a blizzard spear?
Oh, right. Oh my god. Just anything with ice would have been wonderful. Anything.
Yeah. Ice brand,
an ice brand, a blizzard
spear.
spear, something.
All
and
you
then
have is
twice I cast ice
ice
with his cloak turned.
Yep. And then of course it's like it was kind of like you got a blarg there because like if you can get a blarg there, it's like
Yeah.
run out of resources. This is gonna be a second.
That was a heck of a roll, huh?
Yeah, and the thing is, if you think about it, if you hadn't rolled those 2 ice 3s, you were almost there at that point without the healing.
Yep, but sometimes you gotta get lucky.
Well, a combination of luck, skill, and Age of the Seed playing along for once in a while, you know? All right. Well, any other comments you would make about the Seed, Wrexsoul?
No, I'm curious to go back and listen to what you guys had to say about my quirky running. I know it wasn't the cleanest of runs, and I've got quite a bit to learn off of this one. I appreciate Falgran giving a great shot at it. Definitely a great competitor. Death like you and Garen also in the booth doing your commentary. Appreciative as always. FBL doing the restreaming. Who is my tracker today?
Rowdy Ready Sniper. Yep.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate everything you guys do. You guys know that. So, but yeah, I appreciate it. I always enjoy being picked to do the restream now that I'm finally comfortable doing it. So, hope it was enjoyable for the audience.
Yeah, we had over 70 people viewing, I think, at the peak, so I think it was enjoyable for them. At least we hope so. Anyways, I did not read a single complaint, so if there were any, we'll just hide those in the background somewhere.
Sounds great.
All right.
You all have a great night.
Thanks for running again. We'll see you next time.
All right, take care.
All right. We are not having an interview from Falgran tonight, which is totally fine. GG again to Falgran. Thank you for volunteering. It was a good race. It was a tough race in a lot of respects for both runners, but that's the way randoms go sometimes. Meanwhile, that is going to wrap it up for us with the Eidolon Express tournament tonight. However, there is a community race going on right now at this point in time. So we're going to take you over to Beauty and Discovery, who is running the community race. Don't give any spoilers out about this particular race, because there are people there who might not have seen that one, because if they're watching the other one, they probably didn't watch this one. Once again, thank you to FBL in the booth for rolling this seed and doing the restreaming and keeping this whole thing together with the bubble gum and tape. Thank you to Roddy Sniper for doing all the tracking with the dark matters down there and the key items. And you, Deathlike, for trying to keep me from running into a whole bunch of walls in this maze of a seed.
Oh, that was a lot of fun, and hope everyone keeps watching, and to see you in the next seed.